Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. In scriptures, it is said that without a purpose, even a fool doesn't do anything. Prayojanam anuddishya mandopi na pravartate. Even a fool doesn't act, doesn't do anything without a purpose. But when our day-to-day life action comes, how much we do what we do is meant to reach that goal, reach that purpose. If there is a purpose, then your work will be purpose-oriented work. What work you do will help you to fulfill the purpose or to reach the purpose or reach the goal. Most of the people they have goals, but that is mostly regarding their career and fulfill the worldly desires. That the goal they do set up. So there is an immediate goal for which people are busy. For example, there is an exam. So students will work hard. How many of them work hard, we know. Those who work hard, because there is an immediate goal. And that immediate goal will become the part of their ultimate goal. Though that ultimate goal also is not very far off. So there is always a requirement of a purpose. You know, when we construct a building, they call it a purpose-built building. So what you want to do with that building? So you design the building accordingly. In the same way, what you want to do with your life, then there will be a designing the life. I want to achieve this. So you do accordingly. Swami Vivekananda in detail he has talked about the goal and the way, the purpose, and your efforts to fulfill that purpose. Though in the modern times, all the counseling about education, counseling about finding a job, counseling about what are your strengths and what line you should take, career counseling, students counseling, these things are done to help individuals to look after, to find the goal, what they want to achieve. Very interesting aspect about fixing the goal is told that your goal should not be that high that it is impossible to reach, and your goal should not be that low that you don't need to put any effort. Take a simple example, day-to-day life example. If you say, for my personal spiritual practice, I every day wake up at 6 o'clock from tomorrow I will wake up at 6:05. It's good that you want to improve your goal, but it doesn't need much effort. But if you say, I generally wake up at 6 o'clock, from tomorrow I will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and do my spiritual practice. You can do it if you have a zeal, but it is difficult to sustain. Whichever way, if you are getting 65-70% marks in your exam, many times I have seen the motivational speakers will come and say, you must put your goal high. Tell that I will achieve 95%. That fellow has never attained that much. Why you are giving some impossible something to reach? If you cannot reach, then you will tell yourself that I failed. So goal fixing, what you want to do, everybody wants the best, but do you have that capacity to reach the best? So a practical goal setting, slowly you can improve. So this is very much important. Charting out the path, whether it is a spiritual path or a career path. Your life starts with managing the time, to managing the wealth, to managing your life itself. Many people are highly educated. They have done the best degrees available in managing things, business management, etc. It's very good. Many aspects are told, many aspects are taught. Who is the best whom we all have seen, who manages something enormous, something so big, so huge, so vast? If you give the responsibility to organize a program which will be attended by this many thousands of people, everybody will take lunch, breakfast, dinner, sitting, lectures, discourses, cultural programs, all we do. And if I can do it successfully, people appreciate a very well managed program, correct? How many people you manage? 5,000, 10,000, though it is very difficult, not that easy. But all of us have known somebody is there, we do not know who. People call it God, people call it nature, people call it mechanism in the world. Billions of human beings, trillions of living beings. Hardly could be, unfortunate places could be there. But otherwise, these trillions of living beings are nourished and are fed every day. Who decides what to do where? Up to a certain extent, there are departments in governments who decides, like huge countries, they have a separate department who designs what crops we should have, etc., etc. Looking at the whole world, so many things happens around us, but it is practically happening behind the curtain. We do not know. Definitely, number of individuals in the different species of the world, if there are human beings who are 7 billion, definitely the birds, the insects, other animals, microbes we do not even see, small insects, their number is maybe hundreds of trillions, we do not know, practically infinite. How many of you have seen birds lying everywhere dead? You don't see. Snakes lying everywhere dead. Or the insect lying everywhere. You do not see. Where they go, where they die, what happens to them? But there is a system, ecosystem, or the nature has a system. Our forefathers, when they wrote scriptures always no need to be spiritual. There is one part of scriptures is a spiritual scriptures. There are every other faculty, scriptures are there. There are shlokas, there are verses, there are books about science. There are verses about medicine. And these are all part of the same scripture. So when you say scriptures, in general, that which is written in Sanskrit, that is a Hindu scripture. No need to be spiritual, it could be anything. So in one of these scriptures, it is said very beautifully, you may have heard about it, called Jivo Jivasya Bhojanam. One being is the food for another being. Human being is the only living being who has a discrimination. You are a vegetarian, tomorrow you may be non-vegetarian. Today you are non-vegetarian up to this extent, tomorrow you may extend it to it. Or you are a non-vegetarian, you choose to be vegetarian. Among vegetarian, you choose to be a vegan. You can change, you can edit your lifestyle. Other than human being, no one is capable to change their lifestyle. Have you seen a tiger suddenly decided to become a vegetarian? Or a cow suddenly decides to be a non-vegetarian? No. They are created with a program. And they cannot alter the program. Sometimes the programs are corrupted in them also. So I have seen one or two dogs who always take vegetable fruits. I knew one devotee who had two dogs. The dogs take only apples and bananas and all that. Yes, some kind of corruption happens. Virus enters into the system. Have you seen a goat eating fish? Videos are there. You go to internet, all you get. How animal whom you think is a vegetarian becomes a non-vegetarian? Not every goat, but maybe it could be one or two of them. What I am telling is, they don't alter themselves. Human being has something which is called willpower, self-motivation, self-degradation also. Human being can edit themselves. Though we also come with a program, but we can upgrade our program, we can change our program, we can alter. Other animals cannot do that. Sri Ramakrishna beautifully says, do you think human being is something very common? It is only human being who has a capacity to realize God. That's why in our scriptures it said, after getting the human birth, if you do not have desire to realize the truth or realize God or realize some higher things, your human life is wasted. Why wasted? Because you lived almost for everything which any other animal lives. If you live only for eating and having sensual pleasures, etc., that's what all other animals do. Maybe you improve it better in the same line of eating and enjoying. But if you do not do it for the higher purpose for which the human life is meant for, then it is said Mahati Vinashti is a great loss if you do not fulfill the higher purposes of life. That's why, again, except human being, there is no living being who has a concept of morality. There is no concept of morality. Other than human being, do you think, is there any living being who cooks their food? Other than human being, is there any living being who wear clothes? Because we are on a different path. We are not the same. Famous old shloka, all of you must be knowing that. Ahara nidra bhayavaitunam cha samanyametat pashuvi naranam. Taking food, to be afraid, to have essential pleasures, and to sleep. These are common among human beings and the animals. These four things, all the living beings do, human beings also do. That's a human being called social animal. We are also one kind of animal only. If you don't have a higher purpose of life, then it is a dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha. It is the dharma. Even if you call it code of conduct, you call it religion, whichever way you want to interpret dharma, there is something special in human being. Dharmena hina pashubi samana. And without dharma, a human being is like animal. No higher purpose, continuous enjoyment. In that respect, animals are better because they are programmed to do that. Have you heard that a dog or a cat, even if they are pet, died because of overeating? No animal other than human being does overeating. Do you think any dog decided to fast? There is a software in them, there is a program in them. If the stomach is upset, automatically they will stop. I remember we used to have a dog, pet dog. If the stomach is upset, it tries to eat something which is not normal. I saw the dog started eating cabbage. I said, why dogs should eat cabbage? Because it wants to vomit, to clean the stomach. Nobody tells, it has a system to do it. But a purposeful living is only human being is blessed with. We can decide a purpose, we can alter our purpose, we can decide a higher purpose, and we can put effort. No animal can do that. When Sri Ramakrishna says, does the human being is ordinary? If a man tries, can realize God also. There is a story I heard. Where it comes, I do not know. If you have a reference, please let me know. There was a scientist. Robotics could create, manufacture robots to do work. So robots also like machine only, with some artificial intelligence. And it can program to do work. Nowadays you see, you leave this machine on, it will keep on do vacuum cleaning of your hall. This is common, available in the market. So he created some robots to do certain works. According to the command, it will do work. So it's a story. So all the robots were stored in a storeroom. Suddenly, because of lightning, all the robots are on. Because they are robots, they have intelligence, though little, but they have intelligence. So all started talking to each other. It's a story. In Bengali there is a proverb. In the stories, even cow can climb the tree. Golpar guru gache uthre. Even the cows can climb the tree. So the robots start talking. Who is that man who gives commands to us? Why do you think we should follow all the commands what he gives? He may have created us. That doesn't mean that we should follow him. So next day, the scientist comes, tells one robot to do particular job. The robot denied. Other Other robot, he gave order, okay, you do it. He also denied. So it is as if the robots are on strike. Non-cooperation with the scientist. And the robot told the scientist, challenged the scientist, in which way you are superior to us. What you can do, you have created us. Thank you for that. We also can do that. In which way you are greater than us. So the scientists say, the capacity which you have is only one fraction of what I have. But it is difficult for robots to understand. So it's okay, ask any question to us. So very difficult questions the scientist asked. The robot went to the library, climbed the steps, got the encyclopedia, found out and gave the answers. From difficult science, from difficult situations, this and that, all information the robot has. So the scientist was in trouble. I created them, now they are against me. As the story goes, Indian stories goes like this. So the scientist lastly went to a monk who was meditating under a tree. Sir, please save me. These robots they seem to know everything. Is there any question which the robots cannot answer? The Swami is very simple. There is a simple question you ask, they won't be able to say. But I asked all difficult questions. What simple question you are talking about? The monk told the scientist, just ask a question to them, who are you? Simple question. So scientist went next day and asked the robot, that all the difficult questions are exhausted. Now I have a simple question for you. Who are you? The robot took a little time and said, I am this robot. No, there is some metallic, some hardware, software which I have put inside. Who you are, who is denying or who has this individuality, the story abruptly ends. And thinking about what I am, the robotic programs which was fed inside crashed. Because it is only human being who can answer this question, who am I? Our subjective reality. If I am so and so, no, that is your name, who you are. No, I am this person, physical body. No, that is your body. Who is you who is having this body? No, I am a monk. No, that is your way of life, who you are. No, I am intelligent. No, that is the quality of your mind. Who you are, who is having this mind and intellect and body and etc. This answer only human being can give. So the human possibilities are infinite. The amount of application of science which has happened during our lifetime, in last 25-30 years, it is many folds than what used to happen 50 years before or 60 or 70 years before. Leaps and bounds. A small invention changed everything. You will find, if you read articles about the human history, so there are some milestones we have. When a wheel was invented, that was a big milestone for the human history. In the same way, during our lifetime, a big milestone came, called internet. Think when all of us were children, when typewriter used to be there, when kadak, the big tape recorders used to be there, huge camera, 15-20 years before, huge camera to take photographs, change the cassettes and I don't know what to do, what not to do. Every day it changes, application of science. this human possibility is infinite. Probably a time may come, then the science, there is another branch of science, I don't know the technical name, you can educate me. But there is a new branch of science which says to slow down in scientific progress because you won't be able to handle that much as a human race. We can see now all your social platforms, nobody can practically control. Infinite amount of information. Now I am speaking here exactly on this very moment. The sound and picture is transferred to other part of the globe. You cannot think of 15-20 years before. Scientifically, though we have this concept in our scriptures, Mahabharata war was being fought in Kurukshetra, and in Hastinapura, which is Delhi, the blind king is sitting and his minister called Sanjaya is narrating him, not only narrating but live discourse, what Duryodhana told, what Bhishma told, what Krishna told, what Arjuna told, every word dialogue he is telling, how he comes to know about it. So in the scripture also, this word is used from there. In India, the TV started knowing as Duradarshan. The Duradarshan word comes in Mahabharata. This capacity which Sanjaya had. So it is human being who has these infinite possibilities. You decide what to do with it. God is very fair. Whether I am a monk, whether you are a layman, somebody is a doctorate, somebody is ignorant, somebody is a millionaire, somebody is poor, all of them are given 24 hours a day. Oh, you are a very holy man, you should be given 26 hours. No. Or you are not a good person, you will be given only 22 hours. No. Everybody has same opportunity. If there is restrictions, these restrictions are created by other human beings, not by God. So there is a goal to reach. There is a means to reach that goal. What is your goal? What it should be? We are not discussing that here. To reach that goal, what should be your path? That also we are not discussing. We are discussing this goal and the means as this principle, this connecting. Which are the connecting links between the goal and the means, goal and the way? Is it so easy that you decide your goal and automatically you will reach the goal? You cannot. So you decide the purpose. Very, very interesting. Sometimes we will talk about it. Very few people think from this point of view. What is my purpose of doing this? But very few people think, what is the purpose of my purpose to do this? And there are multi-layers of purposes. For example, today morning you decided I will go to mission. Going to Ramakrishna Mission was the purpose. But going to mission was not the purpose actually. Purpose was to visit the temple. Purpose was to attend the class. Now to attend the class cannot be your final purpose. Is to get some information, some knowledge, some good words, good concepts. Even to get good concept also not your purpose. Purpose was to reach somewhere in life. Because of this, for that this concept will be helpful. So it is not the purpose of what I am doing. That's why we call it immediate purpose. But we always must think about purpose of the purpose of the purpose of the purpose, like that. Otherwise, you may lose the ultimate purpose and will be busy in the immediate purpose. That ultimate purpose, as Sri Ramakrishna says, is to realize God. Whatever you are, wherever you are, you don't need to tread the same path as any monk would have done or any devotee would have done. But ultimate goal is everybody is the same. The very purpose of human life is to know this. Many times, I remember, he is a young boy now, working in a bank, young man actually. When he was in secondary school, he was our volunteer. Suddenly he asked me a question. When he was in Sec 2, Sec 3 like that. I keep an object on the table, it cannot move by itself. It doesn't have willpower to move. How I am able to move my hands? What is the difference between this object and me? He was driving towards consciousness or something. So when you decide a purpose in, that can be the immediate purpose. Immediate purpose cannot be the ultimate purpose. So we must be able to understand what is the purpose of my immediate purpose. And that purpose also is a means to reach another higher purpose. From that point of view, as I told, Sri Ramakrishna says that God realization is the goal of life. Whichever path you want to go, longer, shorter, quick, lengthy, lazy path, whichever you want to go according to your zeal. Our scripture says, Yadahareva virajet tadahareva pravrajet. A rishi was asked, when should I renounce? There is no time for renunciation. When vairagya comes, renunciation comes automatically. You don't need to plan. Though relative knowledge, but when the knowledge dawns, renunciation becomes automatically. When you come to know that sugar is dangerous for your physical health, renunciation comes naturally. Any amount of advice would not have worked. Only this conviction came that no, my body has no capacity to digest sugar, so I should not be taking sugar. And that conviction only will help a person to improve. So this conviction about the goal, it is not simple to fix the goal of life, but it is interesting and necessary also to decide the goal and have clarity about it. Scriptures can help. Others who are walking on the same path, they may help. But goal has to be fixed. Swami Vivekananda says, a person who has decided his goal, even if he fails 1,000 times, but believe, person without goal will fail 1,001 times. So it is necessary for us to decide what I want to do, eventually what I want to do. And that will come provided you think about the purpose of the purpose of the purpose of the purpose like that. Then you will find how insignificant my immediate purpose is. Even if you complete your immediate purpose, you will find that I was supposed to collect $1. My immediate purpose has helped me to gather 1 cent. From that 1 cent you will start and go to 100 cents. So immediate goal, while going to the immediate goal, we think about what was the purpose of my immediate purpose. So that will keep on giving you direction. when a pilot would be flying a plane, he doesn't think where he is, he thinks where next I am reaching. That is the goal. So to reach the goal, to decide the goal, we think of who will be guiding, who will guide me to decide the goal. Generally for the child, parents are the first people who will guide them, what to do, what not to do. But the parents are ignorant about it. Either they will not be able to guide or they will misguide them. So as last week we were talking, the parents do not know how they are going to teach the children. It is for the sake of children they should know. Sometimes the parents know, but they have lost that vigor to practice what should be practiced. They have come to know I should be practicing that, but by that time I am too old to practice also. So they cannot demonstrate in their life for the children how to practice, how to reach that goal. And that's how the degradation happens. You fail to pass it on, the knowledge and wisdom, to your next generation. So next generation is blank. If they are zealous to study and gather, which you could not, then they may be able to pass something more to the next generation. Otherwise, you have 10%, you passed 2% to them. They have only 2%. What they are going to give to their next generation? So as an individual, it is our responsibility that at least you give them resources that I wasted my life up to a certain extent. I could not do much. But I am not your ideal. The ideal is this. It is like one generation to another generation. One practical example we have seen, and all of you have seen. You have a document. You do a photocopy. You keep side by side, practically looks same, almost same. Make photocopy of that photocopy and do it on 20 times. Photocopy of the photocopy of the photocopy of the photocopy. And 20th impression and the original keep side by side. Then you will be able to see some difference. In the same way, our forefathers wrote the scriptures. Generation after generation, it is handed over to us. That's why we always say, take reference from others, but go to the original. Whenever you want to make a photocopy, make photocopy of the original. Don't make photocopy of the photocopy of the photocopy. No, then your copy will not be closer to the original. In the same way, always ideal is given, and the permanent ideal, any generation can correlate with that, is called scriptures. You may say, we also read Bhagavad Gita, but you don't try to understand the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, how much I have been able to practice Bhagavad Gita. Then you will fail. Don't look at me, look at Bhagavad Gita directly. So always going to the original. This is a very important aspect. There is no point of telling that we know everything. We know little, but go to the original. Maybe that's why there are many times you will find the son has more wisdom, more knowledge than the father, because father showed him the source. If father would have been the source, the child would not be able to do better than the father. So always we show the source. Read the scripture, read the book. I was telling other day, in our Taittiriya Upanishad, there is one paragraph which says about the graduation ceremony which used to be held in the Vedic period. There the Acharya or the Guru of the Gurukula or the school, he says, don't look at me. If you find any good quality in me, you can follow that. But I am a human being. So don't follow which are not good. Always refer to the scriptures. Sometimes when we chant, you may have heard this. Yani asmakam sucharitani tani sevitavyani no itarani. Not others, only that is good in me, only you should accept. Oh, my professor used to smoke, so I am his student, I also must smoke. No. You take only good things from your teacher. That's why it is always said that go to the source which your teacher has shown to you. Don't follow the teacher what he does. Because he is a human being. He has interpreted scripture in his own way for his life. That may not be perfect. You could do better than that. So go to the original source and follow Bhagavad Gita. Maybe you could be better than even your guru or your teacher. I remember, I won't tell the name. A young man here, Singapore, was attending his university class. So the professor came to teach the subject. Then today I will give you some ideas how quickly you can make money. So the boys were very excited. Only one boy asked at the end of the class, "Sir, thank you very much for giving so many ideas. My simple question is, have you earned that money?" The professor said, "No. I know the ideas, I have not done." So you have not implemented those ideas in your life. How to earn $1 million? I will teach you. And I teach you. And say, have you earned $1 million? No. Then the boy told, "Sir, I am only 22 years old. I am a student of your class. I have earned $1 million by myself." 16 years old, the boy wanted some money from his father. I am telling Singapore true story. The father says, "What pocket money I am giving you, that much only I will give. More if you want, earn yourself." To earn that money in a legal way, moral way. If you want any ideas, whatever ideas I have, I can give you. But I give you every day $1, $2 at that time. More than that, if you want, you have to earn. Go and earn. You can do anything. A shop, many restaurants will give you $5 to $8 as on today, maybe $8 per hour. Go and earn. He said, "But I want to earn more." Decide what you want to do. So that 16 years old boy planned an activity. Let us not go into details about it. And he says that I organized that activity. Completely legal, completely moral. No immorality was practiced there. And in one night, at the age of 16, I earned $150. And that inspired me to do more. And by the time he was 20, 21 years old, he was more richer than his father. Why this example I am giving is this. This richness of wisdom and knowledge, there is no limit, sky is the limit. So always we show the original source. Go to the source. That will teach you. I may be a simple follower of that scripture. You can do definitely better than me maybe. But if I only teach you, what I teach is the scripture. So I have taken 1% from the scripture. I give you only that 1%. How much you will earn? How much you can do it? Not more than 1%. So I could practice 1%. You please go to the source. Maybe you can do 5, 10, 20%. So goal is to be decided. Help the children, help the next generation, or to help yourself to decide the goal. Take help of the scriptures, take help of the seniors, take help of the co-traveler on that path, those who are traveling that path. And then scriptures will tell you what attitude you should have, what qualities you should have. Adi Shankaracharya, while writing on the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, very beautifully writes one sentence. What is your sadhana? What is your efforts? What you should be doing? You should be doing to achieve that which are by nature are the good qualities of a realized soul. A bunch of values which is his nature. For you it is your sadhana. For you it is your practice to do. What devotion and renunciation Sri Ramakrishna had, we cannot even think of having that because our capacity is smaller. We can increase. We can increase. Hinduism is a very great hope given to all of us. And the greatest hope is this. An incarnation is a big wave in the ocean. Tsunami wave comes once in a decade also, or once in 100 years also, you don't find. Huge wave. Compared to that huge wave, you and me are the small ripples, not even a wave. We are only small ripples. If the ripple wants to become that big wave, that is not possible. But ripple and the big wave both are water. Both are part of that infinite ocean. The difference is in degree, not in kind. A ripple and a big wave are not two different things. Are the same thing, only the difference is in degree. A ripple is a ripple, small ripple. Doesn't have even lifetime. Doesn't have even effect on the shore. But a huge wave can have a long-lasting effect on the shore. So that's the idea we discussed next time. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.